Good afternoon, everyone. I hope you can all hear me now. It's been a bit frustrating. It's been a frustrating 20 minutes. I don't know if you'll have the stream, to be honest. So I'm going to have to try and share it to all of you out there. Yeah, we might have some people here. Brilliant. Well, I have some people. We have someone here, which is better than nothing. I do apologize for the delay. I don't know what's happened. I could not get the microphone working, but the good thing is it works now. I think it does. Well, tell me if it doesn't, but I'm pretty sure it does work now. So welcome along to the one person that I can see is watching, and hopefully a couple more join as well. And welcome to the third Q&A. As you might know already, I've done two, and today is the third one. So thank you very much, everyone who is here with us. Remember, if you have any English-related questions, this is your opportunity to ask me whatever you like. If it's about my hair, yes, it is natural, it is mine. I can confirm that. But if you want to know something more interesting, then stick around, because in about 25 minutes or so, I'm going to be giving you your English fact. And this is a fact that you don't want to miss. So stick around right to the end of the stream, because it'll be a little bit of a reduced stream today. It won't be the same length as the previous ones because of the technical issues I had before. But yeah, we'll be going to about 20 past 6 British time, or yeah, it would be British time. So hopefully we'll be able to fit everything in that we would like to. So remember, any questions, anything that comes to mind, do let me know, and I will be happy to answer them. In the meantime, of course, I will be asking you some questions, any of the audience out there that is interested at all in any of the questions that I ask. Last time I asked about music, and today I'd like to ask about traditions, and traditions that we have here, not just here in England, but traditions that you might have in your own country. So if you are live, the person who is watching at the moment, maybe write in the chat and say, tell me a tradition that you have. This is the Ask the Audience segment of the stream. Is what traditions do you have in your country? Are they traditions that you like? Are they traditions that you follow, or maybe you don't follow, and for whatever reason? And that's where really the focus of the Ask the Audience today is, to very much see what your opinion is on different traditions. Of course, I have done a couple of videos, about 4 or 5 videos, all about British traditions. Check out that playlist. It's about 5 or 6 videos, I believe, which look at, I said, these traditions that people hold very close to their hearts and still follow today. So yeah, it would be great to hear from the person who is watching. Otherwise, I'll tell you about a couple of traditions that we have here. Traditional sports, for instance, which is cricket, actually one of my favorite sports, and it is usually played between April to around September, October here in the UK, and it's played with a wooden bat and a ball. I'm going to go into all the rules because it is quite a complicated game. If you want a more simplified understanding or simplified version of the rules, you can check that out on the channel, which you'll find under the British Traditions playlist. So check that out if you do have time. But yeah, that's one particular tradition that we do have here in Britain that dates back to sometime in the 18th century. The food traditions that we have here in the UK. And I know that many of my students out there, perhaps if you're not watching at the moment, but maybe you watch a bit later on, would maybe say, and maybe rightfully so, and to some extent, Britain doesn't have any traditional food. Well, what I can tell you, we've got someone here, SMM. Well, that could be anyone. but we have SMM. Thank you for joining today. Hello indeed. Can you tell me, we're in the Ask the Audience segment, where are you from? Where are you from? And tell us about a tradition, about a place where you are from. I was just saying about food, moving on to food traditions. And it's one that here we have a lot of food traditions here in the UK. And not that many of my students actually believe that's the case, but it is true. If that is in the north, east, south, or west of the country, we do have traditional food, such as so we have someone from Spain, and this person has said torrijas are their favorite. What's my favorite in England? Oh, what a good question. What a good question. One that I certainly can answer, but it's going to take a while because I have many favorites. But I'm just going to narrow it down to one. If I had to choose a favorite dish, a typical dish that we have here, I can't look any further than a roast dinner. Roast beef. Oh, we have Eleanor there as well. Hello, Eleanor. Welcome to the Q&A. Thank you for joining us. So yes, getting back to it, you can't go wrong with roast beef, potatoes, gravy, Yorkshire pudding, maybe some veg in there as well. And of course, don't let me forget the gravy. And this is typical on a Sunday. People usually eat this for Sunday lunch or Sunday dinner. So this is traditional food. What about traditional festivals? Oh, Eleanor's saying she loves gravy. Who doesn't love gravy? If you haven't tried gravy, it's a very rich sauce and it is certainly worth trying. English breakfast, I can see, has just been commented, and yeah, English breakfast is another favorite of mine. And the people are commenting. Can you tell me some of the components of an English breakfast? What do you know about an English breakfast? What are the components of an English breakfast? Do you know them? I know a couple. Well, I know more than a couple. I've tried them, and I've tried a lot of English breakfast to know. We'll just give hash brown. Hash brown, absolutely delicious. Yes, fried potato. If you don't know what a hash brown is a fried potato. Delicious in the morning, but also delicious pretty much any time of the day. Oh, well, we have a lot of components here, so keep up with me. Bacon, eggs, sausages, baked beans, hash browns, mushroom, tomatoes, bread, and butter. Sounds amazing to me. I would certainly go for this pretty much every single time I have breakfast. I'm not going to lie, would love this combination. And if you haven't tried an English breakfast, I do recommend going to a pub here in the UK. Maybe if you're already here in the UK, then try an English breakfast. Or if you've already had one, have another. Have maybe one tomorrow morning, maybe have one Monday morning. But definitely have an English breakfast if you haven't tried one before. Except if you have, then continue to have them. Eggs Benedict. Yes, I don't know how typical or traditional that is, the Eggs Benedict, but if it is typical here, then that's another one that I do like as well. Another good one to try. So we think we've covered on the fish and chips. It was just a matter of time before someone wrote fish and chips. No question, fish and chips is typical here. Lots of salt and vinegar. Well, that is up for debate, that one. Because I love my salt on my chips, but vinegar, not so sure. Mushy peas or mushy peas, depending if you're from the north. That's something that I could definitely say is traditional here in the UK. Pretty much anywhere you go, you could find fish and chips on a menu. Pie. Yeah, one of my favorites as well. I told you I had a lot of favorites. Pie is another one that it could be any flavored pie. And I would get straight in there and I would just completely destroy it. That's how much I love pies. Scones, yes, you can have those with an afternoon tea. It's like a crumbly biscuit if you haven't tried one of those. Oh, Eleanor certainly knows her typical British dishes, which is great to see. Bangers and mash. Now, this might confuse a few, bangers and mash. Eleanor, could you elaborate a bit more on bangers and mash? What does this consist of? How do you pronounce scones? Well, there you go. You just have it for yourself. Scones. Or in some parts of the country, scones. But I pronounce it scones, but either is fine. So Eleanor is giving us a description now. Yummy sausages, sizzling, and creamy mashed potato. That's exactly right. Simple ingredients, but when you put them together, you get an absolutely fantastic dish. And of course, gravy. Yes, don't forget the gravy. Another dish that you can have gravy with. Another really yummy typical dish that we have. Yeah, this would certainly make my mouth water as well. Don't forget the gravy. Don't you worry, Eleanor. I was not going to forget the gravy. I don't want to offend anyone by not putting gravy on bangers and mash. So if we moved to a slightly different area now with different traditions, what about the traditions that we have when it comes to Sunday dinner? Yeah, so that goes back to the roast dinner that I spoke about a little bit earlier on as well. Well, what about other traditions that we have, like certain festivals? We have festivals here in the UK, such as Glastonbury, and that is a music festival that is usually every single year. It's an annual event. If anyone out there has been to it, write in the chat. I'd love to know if you have. I'd love to go there one day. I don't know if it actually has been cancelled for this year or not, or they're still waiting for permission for the event to go ahead. But yeah, Glastonbury is a traditional music festival we have here in the UK. Can you think of any other festivals or any festivals in your countries that you would like to share? I'll give you time to think about it. So what I mentioned before was a music festival, which, like I said, is Glastonbury, but there are other ones that we do have as well. St. Patrick's Day in my country. Right, Eleanor, so St. Patrick's Day, yeah, is one that people celebrate. And Eleanor, can you tell me, what do you celebrate on this day? What is it you celebrate on this? How do you celebrate? Do you celebrate with lemonades and Coca-Colas? Or do you celebrate with pints of Guinness? Which one do you celebrate with? SMM, but Stonehenge. Certainly, yes, Stonehenge is another typical, actually, it's a very historical land site that we have here in the UK. Although it does cost quite a bit of money, it is certainly worth visiting. It is quite an incredible sight to see, very unique. Pints of Guinness, yes, pints of Guinness. I agree with that. If you're going to celebrate St. Patrick's Day, then pints of Guinness is the way to go. And we have some nice emojis there as well. Lovely. Any other traditions that you have in your own country or even here in the UK that you know of, or any historical monuments that you know of that makes the UK, or what makes Spain, Spain, what makes France, France, what makes Ireland, Ireland. What sets it apart? What makes it unique? What makes it really special? And Stonehenge is a really good one, because you can't find Stonehenge anywhere else in the world. A carnival in Spain, says SM. So, yeah, well, tell me a bit more, SM, about a carnival in Spain. As I didn't mention before, but I am here in Bournemouth, England, just in case you didn't know where Bournemouth was. So Tomatina. Now, I have heard of that one before. SM, could you expand on that a little bit? What is Tomatina? What type of festival is this? Or anyone else out there watching? Any idea what Tomatina is? Don't hesitate, write in the chat. We'd love to hear from you. We're looking today at traditions. We're looking at festivals in your own country. What makes your country unique? What makes it special? Throwing tomatoes to people sounds like fun. I already have a couple of people in mind that I would love to throw tomatoes at. Interesting festival. Throwing tomatoes at people. I don't know where this particular festival is, but I would definitely like to give it a try someday. I think this is another Spanish festival. I think it's pronounced Fallas. Now, I have quite a few students that are from a city where they do this particular festival. That's right, in Valencia is correct. And what type of celebration is it, SM, as you just gave me the suggestion of Fallas? What do they celebrate there? Or do they not celebrate anything? Maybe they just eat and drink, which isn't bad either. I'd still be happy with that. So we'll just wait for SM to reply. If not, then we'll just assume then it is just a festival. Difficult to explain, right? So we'll just say it's a type of festival. I guess it has some fireworks, maybe some displays, lots of food. Christopher Columbus. Yes, Christopher Columbus, in some eyes, can be a contentious figure. And SM is saying that they burn statues. Interesting. Burn statues. I assume that she is. Yeah, speaking of the Las Fallas. So in this Las Fallas, they burn statues, apparently. If you didn't know, you do know. Right. Anything else that comes to mind here? Remember, this is Ask the Audience, so this is all about you expressing yourself to me, and then I can give my opinion about it. So, they burn statues and one wins. Right, whichever statue burns the quickest, or who burns the most statues? The one that doesn't get burned. Well, I think I'm going to have to see this festival to believe it. Never been to Valencia before, but it seems that it might be worth going to see this particular festival. Las Fallas. And when is this? When is this festival? SM, do you know when this festival is? Right, paella is another one. I can tell Eleanor is a foodie. She loves her food. Quite a lot of food suggestions coming from her, which is great to see. And we also have March. as the date for when the fires are. So not this year, of course, but potentially next year. And yeah, we'll just go back to paella. That's a typical Spanish dish. And do the two of you, the ones who are commenting in the chat, what does paella consist of? Who can tell me what paella consists of? Are there different ingredients in each paella, or is there just a set ingredients? How does that work? Rice. Yeah, rice is obviously a key ingredient. Rabbit, seafood, meat, or vegetables. I'd be happy with any of those. If you've tried paella before, then I'm sure you're familiar with these different versions all around Spain, but of course just made everywhere around the world. Do I like paella? Well, if I cook it, no. But if somebody else cooks it, yes, I do indeed. It does take quite a bit of time. It does need quite a bit of patience, which is why I'm not very good at it. But yes, I do love paella. Whenever I do go to Spain, it's one dish I do love to have. And what about people listening out there? Do you enjoy paella? Do you have a favorite paella? What's my favorite paella? Oh, it's a tough one to answer. Quite a few, actually. Quite a few. I could say with rabbit. I could say with any sort of meat. I don't want to say chorizo because I'll get in trouble. You can't put chorizo with paella. I know that's a sacrilege. So I don't put chorizo. I don't want chorizo in my paella. But pretty much any paella is good for me as long as it's cooked really, really well. Right. Anything else that comes to mind? Any other traditions in Spain? Because it seems that we have people either from Spain here or people who know quite a bit about the Spanish culture. Anything else that you know, or even about the British culture? Anything about the British culture that you know about and that you'd like to share? So we've spoken about food, we've spoken about a few festivals. A comment before about Stonehenge. Anything else that comes to mind? Of course, we do have very famous monuments all around the UK. Of course, many of them being in London. If you think about, pantomimes. Excellent, yes. And again, check out British Traditions for that. I did a video on that about 5-6 months ago. Typical at Christmas time here in the UK. I'm not going to give much away, so you should watch the video. It's in the playlist. It's like a theatre production for children, but adults can join in as well. I got a couple of comments coming in here as well. Peak District, Jurassic Coast. Yeah, some absolutely incredible places to visit on a nice, hot, sunny day. These are some great locations to go to, especially the Jurassic Coast, not far from Bournemouth, right here, actually. So if you do find yourself in Bournemouth, it's not far to get to the Jurassic Coast. Definitely worth your time and worth a visit. Bonfire night. Yes, bonfire night. It's certainly one to keep an eye out for. April Fool's Day. Yes, April Fool's Day. You might have one in your own country as well. I don't know if it's in April necessarily, but yeah, we have April Fool's Day to play a joke on individuals, on your friends, on people that maybe are not so much your friends, but to play jokes on people in general, really. Remember the 5th of November. once again, Eleanor. Yes, I can now make a nice segue to British traditions once again. Guy Fawkes Night. If you want to learn more about this tradition, this goes back many, many centuries ago, and this video is in the playlist as well under British traditions, and I'll give you a quick summary of the history of Guy Fawkes Night, or Bonfire Night, and that's a night that many people remember. Many British people have followed this tradition for many, many years. Fantastic. Lots of fantastic traditions here in the UK and in Spain. And thank you very much to everyone who has commented. So Eleanor and SM, I really do appreciate your time and putting in your comments. It's been great having you there. So we're just going to end the segment here of the Ask the Audience. I'm glad I asked you out there. Thank you so much for sharing. And here comes your facts. Here comes your English facts for today. And your English fact is maybe one that you do know. Maybe it's one you don't know. But did you know that on your 100th birthday, if you are a British resident, sorry to people who are not British residents, because they might not receive one, but if you're a British resident and you turn 100, then expect a birthday card from the Queen. I have to still wait 69 years for my card. 69 years and I'll get my card. I've still got some way to go. Oh, Eleanor apparently already has one. Well, unless Eleanor is 100, maybe it's another reason why Eleanor has received a card from the Queen. Maybe Eleanor is related to the Queen. But yes, if you are at all interested in that, you can get a message on your 100th birthday, 105th birthday, and you do not need to apply for it. It just happens on that day. Oh, she's just kidding. Oh, she is funny. I would like to meet Eleanor one day and see her sense of humor. But yes, she doesn't have one, and you probably won't have one unless you reach 100. And the Queen does congratulate you then. So that's an interesting fact that we have here in the UK, that the Queen does send a card to people who turn 100, 105, and for other special messages, I think over 100. But I don't know anyone above 100, but I know that they do reach the news. Who will send you one when the Queen isn't here? Well, I can send you one, Eleanor. I can. But who knows? There might be a king to do it instead of a queen. Of course, I think a lot of time has to pass before we reach that ripe old age of 100. And if we do, hopefully we'll have cards to show for it as well. Quite a special memory and a special card. King Scott. Not say that's going to happen anytime soon, but who knows? Who knows? I'm not related to the royal family. Not yet. So we're just about going to be out of time. Unfortunately, today we did lose some time, unfortunately, due to some technical difficulties before, but that fortunately is all behind us. Thank you to everyone who contributed and watched today. So, we just have a couple of comments just before I say goodbye. I want one from Megan. Interesting comment. I want one from Megan. Okay. Well, maybe Megan will give you one. Some people don't want a card from Megan these days, but maybe SMT, if you ask, you might receive. Mary, Queen of Scots. There you go. Don't think I can really add any more to that. Thank you so much to everyone out there who has commented, so especially to SMM and Eleanor. Really do appreciate your time and your comments. Great to interact with you and the other person out there as well that has watched the stream today. There will be another stream next month where I will once again be asking the audience, asking all of you out there about a particular topic, a particular theme for you to get involved. I'm glad that you enjoyed the live chat today. And the next one will be sometime next month. I will make an announcement on that. You can watch this video back, don't forget. And also on the playlist. Don't forget to watch back on any of the playlists, especially the British traditions. Check out the British traditions. Plenty of the ones we just that were mentioned in the live chat, you can find in Scott Dunger's English playlist, British Traditions. Thank you very much, everyone. I hope to see you next month, where I'll give you another fact. We'll have another theme. And if you have any English questions, I'll be here. See you next time. Bye.